All right, today on CodeBet Daily, not to be confused with ColdBet Daily, which is what we are in the live studio. Stats guy, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. I'm looking at a bit of cricket in the ODI cricket and an A-League future. What about you, Alex?
I've just got English soccer teams in every league that you can think of whatsoever with some cups, some trophies, and a few stats thrown in. It's CodeBet Daily. Check it out. All right, we're back. We're in the office. The aircon's on.
In the ice block.
Yeah, it is literally the Arctic. So this is Arctic Daily here. It's the CodeBet Daily, Tuesday, the 31st of January.
Yep.
All day.
All day.
Episode 41. We're about to raise the bat here. I'm expecting us to get pulled off in a week's time. You know, get stranded on 49.
No, we'll get to the ton, I reckon, at least.
Jesus, you've got a lot of hope in us.
A few quick boundaries.
Yeah, of course. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly. I found out my girlfriend does indeed listen to this podcast.
So for the first time you had a drive-by.
Yeah, exactly. So
that was very
thank
funny.
you to Steph for listening. I will buy you dinner tonight. There you go. Stats guy's here. He's up and about. He's found a Thailand winner, and that is not a joke in the tennis.
Yeah, I'm going to pump for the tennis that gets going today in the Thai Open. And then I was really pumped last night. Got into the golf for the first time. Rory McIlroy, big win last night in Dubai. So that was pretty cool.
And I had to explain the symbolism of Rory McIlroy beating Patrick Reed this morning.
Yeah,
to
they
Stats
hate
guy.
each other,
He's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'm like, yeah, Stats guy, pay attention.
It was awesome.
It's literally your job. But as it says, CodeBet Daily, it's what we're all about here.
Yep.
Winners, tips, selections.
Give some bets,
some horrible takes. Me being friends with the Brisbane Lions right now.
Yeah.
Hi, you guys. You are my favourite team that is north of Sydney.
I need Geelong to respond and have a bit of a Twitter war.
No, we are not talking about Geelong because then again, I will get laughed at for being a Swans fan. Anyway, we're going to get ripping into our selections today. What are we looking at, Stats Guy? What have you got for us?
Yeah, I'm looking at the FA Cup. So we've got the semi-finals, which the second leg's tomorrow. Then I'm having a look at an ODI in the cricket and an A-League future for the title.
I forgot to fill out my run sheet, but I know that I'm talking about the Carabao Cup, the Europa League, and there's probably another game of soccer in there somewhere. I'm all football today. I'm pretty sure about that. But Stats Guy,
cool.
Run us off here. We've got some, Carabao Cup action kicking us off.
Yeah, so I'm looking at Carabao Cup for a player prop for our first part of the show. Newcastle versus Southampton. It's the second leg. Newcastle won against Southampton in the first semi-final, 1-0, and that was away at Southampton.
Yep.
I'm still surprised Southampton made it this far with the season they're having.
I mean, they got nothing to play for, so they may as well try in this one.
And they I guess they're not playing in a lot of the other comps, so they can play their best players every game. I don't know if that's had something to do with it, but anyway.
Yeah, but they stink.
I think Newcastle, now it's back at home, they just got to draw or win this match. I think they'll still go out and try and score a few goals.
They've got the away goals, so it's
I don't know if they count. I think it's just the aggregate in this one. But anyway, they're up, but they just need to get a win or a draw in this one. I think they will. As a player prop, I'm looking at Bruno Guimaraes.
Nailed it.
I've said that right.
He was practicing for 10 minutes before we started.
He sometimes becomes like a defensive midfielder, but when they play against the poorer teams, he becomes a lot more attacking. He has scored a fair few goals. Yeah, so he's had 7 scoring involvements this season. He loves usually playing box to box, but against Southampton, he loves to play a bit more attacking and have a few long shots because they just really poor defense. They've got the most goals conceded, second most goals conceded actually in the Premier League. So Southampton just really poor defense.
As we talked about yesterday.
He loves playing against the Saints. He's scored in 3 of the last 4 times they've played against them. And he'll definitely start in this one. He's probably up there with their most important player. Just controls the midfield and Southampton's midfield is just a really poor defensively. So I really like him to score. He's $5.50, which is really good for someone that scored 3 of the last 4 times against them. Because they've got the strikers, I think he likes to provide to the strikers and they're only paying $2 or something like that. But I think him outside the box could score a banger in this one. And then, I think they're going to go on from this match, get a bit of a fairy tale finish in this one and win the cup. Their first cup, the Carabao Cup.
Their first trophy.
First trophy since 1955. So I'm saying the fairy tale finish.
That is older than my dad. He was born in 1959.
Yeah, well,
that is old.
That is very old. So most of their supporters wouldn't have, half their supporters
Jesus was a boy
this.
when they last won a trophy.
Pretty much. But I reckon, I know it's tough against Man U, who are also predicted to be in the final. Yeah. But they're $2.25. They drew to Man U the last 2 times, so they can match it with them. Yeah. So I don't mind
that game will be at Wembley 26th of Feb. We looked it up. So we'll have a look at February. We'll talk about that. That's that's a 3 weeks from now problem, Stats guy.
But anyway, I like Guimaraes to score a goal.
Yep.
So there we go. $5.50, good value. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at leg 2 of the other game of Man United and Notts on Thursday morning at Old Trafford. Bit of a tricky one because Man United are at $1.40 to win the game.
Yep.
The fact that they won 3-0 in the first leg at Notts, it makes it tricky because you're pretty much in the final.
Yeah, so they might not risk their full team.
Well, yeah,
possibly.
They're not going to play this. They're not going to play their full strength team, especially when they've got to play this weekend in the EPL. Again, short turnaround. That's what. That's why we lost to Arsenal because of the short turnaround. No, you lost because Arsenal were better. Simple as that. The halftime, full-time is probably, if you're looking for a safe bet, it's absolutely ridiculous to say there's such a thing as a safe bet. No, but you think, they'll get out to an early lead, they're up 4 goals, and then maybe late in the game not switch off and they score a second.
I don't think it'll be a 3-0. It might be a 2-0.
I'm not looking at a very... it's not going to be an exciting game, put it that way, because Notts will throw everything at them for the first 20 minutes. And if they don't score, well, then it's basically game dusted because Notts aren't going to score 4 goals in, 70 minutes of football. We don't know what the teams are, so there's no use in trying to tip out an anytime goal scorer, given the fact that I'm pretty positive that Ten Hag won't pick his strongest team. So both
it'll still be a good team.
Yeah, it'll still be a good team, but it's also like, maybe Fred plays a full game. Rashford rests. Martial probably plays for the first time in a week because, they've got to rotate his games.
Which is funny because they're pretty good players coming off the bench.
You know what I mean? Like McTominay might start as well. So it's all about,
you're right.
You don't know who's going to start. You probably throw those young kids and give them a game as well. David De Gea might not play either. So it's all about that because they did recall their third choice keeper from loan as well, which seemed really weird.
Yeah, right.
So I like the halftime, full time. Both teams to not score is $1.78. I think that's a good way to look at it as well because I think defensively you still set up a strong defensive unit because you've got to play, Varane and Martinez in that because there's no use in,
then they can see 3 or something.
It's like, all right, we just can't concede. It doesn't matter if we don't score. It can be a 0 or draw. We're still sweet.
No, I agree on that one. They're going to play a bit of a stronger defense than their attack. I like what you're thinking there.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that. Both teams to not score.
What's the odds for the halftime, full time?
Halftime, full time is $2.10. Those bets are both with Blue Bet.
Very nice.
Let's look ahead to some match game picks where we pick, 1, 2, 3, maybe 7 bets based on throughout a game. And you're heading across to South Africa.
Yeah, I'm going to be a bit less niche than I was yesterday with the Thai Open. I'm going to go a bit more mainstream.
It wasn't the Thai Open. It was called the Woo Woo Open or something. Thank you, Ric Flair.
A bit of ICC ODI cricket here. So we've got the South Africa.
I'm glad that it's ratified by the ICC.
Yeah. South Africa head-to-head, I think, versus England. They've won. It's $2.15, so they're not the favourites. They haven't been the favourites every game this series, but they've won the first 2. So South Africa, I think everyone thought, oh, no way they'll beat England. They were shocking against us. They were shocking, and Bazball's been going really well, but they've stopped them in their tracks a bit. They love playing at home, so they've got Nokia and Rabada, who actually played pretty well against Australia.
Bullies.
But they like playing on their quicker wickets over there. They're a bit...
They got smashed in Australia while we had fast wickets.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but some reason they like playing at home, and they're similar. I was looking at the other day, they're similar wickets. They both had forfers in multiple games, so they've been really, really strong. And they like to hit big with the smaller boundaries, so they've got a few sloggers in their team.
Also at altitude as well.
Yeah, but a bit of altitude, like desert theory.
No, okay, then why have all the really high scores in cricket games been in South Africa?
No, you're right. Yeah. All right.
Haven't you seen the rugby union goal kickers bomb them from 70?
That's true. Yeah,
because at altitude the ball flies.
I haven't looked into that.
It's why at Denver the ball flies more. Gee, learn some geography stats, guys.
I know geography. I just don't
geography.
I just don't know that. Anyway, yeah, they like to hit big, and they've got a few smaller boundaries as well as the altitude, as Alex said. Bavuma even made a century last game, who was really not great against Australia, but they've got a lot of confidence players. So I think when they into
they're
form,
a better one-day team.
And they're a better one-day team because they like to hit the ball through. They don't like to stay in too long, but they know how to make big scores. So I think they can go well. And
so in a roundabout way, you're telling me South Africa are going to win?
South Africa are going to win, and I think they'll use their confidence from the first 2 games.
Yep.
$2.15, which is really good odds.
Yep. No, I like it.
Cool.
Get around it.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the final game in the 4th round of the FA Cup.
Yep.
It's a replay from the weekend between Birmingham and Blackburn. Birmingham equalised in the 91st minute to take this to a replay, and that was, of course,
wow, that'd been awesome.
Blackburn's home ground. You go through the stats. You look at the game and you're like, oh no, well, Blackburn have dominated this game, but they had 63% possession, but it was 15 shots to 13. With 8 on target for both. So it was a lot more even than what it was. It's like what Brentford have been doing in the EPL, having no possession, but a lot of shots on target.
Attack.
Yeah, so, and then you dig a bit deeper. Birmingham are winless in their last 6. They've had 1 draw in that time, so there's 5 losses in that. And then Blackburn have gone to St Andrews, which is the home deck of Birmingham. They've won their last 2 there. So
really? Yeah, wow.
Good hunting ground. And then you've also got the 2 league difference between the two with Blackburn in the Championship and Birmingham down in League One. So you think that everything is telling you that Blackburn should be winning this game. They've only lost 2 of their last 10 away in the FA Cup as well. So they've got a really good record.
They know what they're doing,
Yep, so I'm going with the 2 division theory, and the Blackburn should be stronger. They let one slip. They'll be fired up, ready to go. And then the outsider. They're 287, so You know,
yeah, wow, they're 287.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah,
because they're going all right in the championship. Like
they're
you said.
fifth.
Yeah,
The funny
they can
thing
still
is,
make the Premier League. Yeah,
they've won 14 games, drawn 1, and lost 13. So they're literally winning or losing at the moment in the championship. It's insanity.
That is strange. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really good.
That's good value though. Yeah.
287. Why not? Let's have a go.
I really like that. Yeah.
Best bet stats guy.
Yeah, best
Get around
bets.
it. You've gone not niche. You've gone pretty straight down the
Straight down the line.
Yeah.
Still good value though.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, so look at the A-League. We haven't talked too much about the A-League, but Melbourne City
Does anyone talk about the A-League?
Oh, we can a little bit more, but yeah, not too many people. But no, it's actually
We love
got a
you,
bit of
A-League.
it's got a bit of resurgence this year, I think, with some of the good players coming through for the Socceroos and things like that. But yeah, the A-League, I think title winner. Melbourne City are first at the moment, absolutely flying, 5 points clear.
Yep.
I think them at $2.35 is too good to pass up at the moment. I think in the next week or two they'll get a few more wins and it might drop below $2. So $2.35, I really like them.
This goes to the grand final, right? This isn't like the EPL and that.
No,
It's
so,
like, we Australianise it.
This
It's like,
one-
we need a grand final.
I think on some sites you might actually be able to bet on because there is 2 trophies in the A-League, one for who finishes first and then one for who wins the grand final. But this is for the grand final.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I think they're just too good. They've beaten everyone in the competition. They've only lost 1 of their past 14 games. So they've had a lot of draws, but a lot of their draws have been away and they just know how to get the job done. And they're still the favourites for the title. They've got a squad full of Socceroos players. You've got Matthew Leckie, you've got Jamie McAllion, who's leading goal scorer in the league with 14 in 14 games. So he's absolutely killing it. You got Marco Tilio, who's also like a Socceroos sort of rising star. They just got a really, really good team.
Yep.
So you compare that to a lot of the other A-League squads and it's some really poor teams and they're just a class above. They've got what's it called? They're also the best defense in the league. They've only conceded 11 goals in 13 matches,
Makes sense,
which is
given they're on
unbelievable.
top.
Yeah, makes sense, but that's an unbelievable stat with 11 in 13 games.
Hashtag stats guy.
And then I like their run home. 7 of their 11 matches, their last 11 matches coming up are in the bottom half of the table. So they verse a lot. I think they verse Brisbane Roar, who are pretty low, Melbourne Victory, who are last, and Western United, who are third last. So they verse a lot of those bottom teams, and I reckon they'll have an easy run home and easily maybe even 10 points clear on top of the table. So,
okay.
Yeah, I think
but then they got to go and win the grand final.
and then they're going to go win the grand final, finishing first is obviously going to help that. So yeah,
I found out an interesting thing about Melbourne City the last few weeks. They run that business at a big loss. Obviously, given Melbourne City.
It's owned by Manchester City.
Yeah, Manchester City. They've got, I think they've got like 8 or 9 clubs under that banner.
They do,
throughout,
New York
throughout the world. Yeah. So they run at a loss. And the thing is, they don't care if we lose $3 million a year, as long as we're making finals and we're breeding players, like not breeding players, but making them more successful where they can go to other teams.
Yeah.
Like you saw the coach, he left earlier this year to go coach their team in France.
Yes, he did.
So,
I saw that.
So that's what it's all about. So it's like they don't care if it's at a loss.
Growing the sort of
as long
club,
as the European clubs are making all the money.
Well, they're going to make heaps of money.
Exactly. So losing $2 or $3 million is like a drop in the ocean for them. But
that's interesting, though.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Finance daily. I'm going to look at Man United to win the Carabao Cup, as we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
Pretty much in the final, unless they lose by 4 in the next couple of days, which I don't think Notts Forest
No,
are
surely
win 4-0.
not. Surely not.
Their best football is more than good enough to win this and beat Newcastle, or if they play Southampton, they'll smash Southampton.
Yep.
But they're the only teams to have beaten Manchester City and Arsenal this year. So, they're
going well.
good. They need to win a trophy. I know you were like 1955.
Yeah, I think Newcastle need to win a trophy.
Manchester United
They've been
haven't won
crying
one
for
since
50 years.
2017.
Which is big for one of the biggest clubs ever. Yeah.
They last won the Europa League then. I think it was Mourinho. That might have been Mourinho.
It was
time.
probably, and that's when they were bagging him still, and they were good then.
And an interesting stat. Ten Hag in his first 25 games in charge has won more games than Pep, Jurgen Klopp, and Mikel Arteta. So
bringing out the big names.
He's doing a good job. Everyone's like, this and that.
Yeah, I agree. He's
apart
very
from when
good.
they lost 4-0 at the start of the year. And then
first,
they got
like 10 games, I think it was. They were poor.
It was the first 3 games.
Oh, 3, yeah.
And then they got rid of Ronaldo, which is great. And then Cristiano Ronaldo's team loses in the Saudi FA Cup over the weekend.
He's having a stinker over there.
Yeah, well, he's making $250 million a year. So good for him.
He's getting it for every pass or every shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting $100 million or something.
But they're $1.66 to win that because they're basically, it's like, you're in the final. So they're priced on that.
Yes, that's what I think this
is to lift the cup. This isn't normal time or anything like this. Is to lift the Carabao Cup in the end of the month at Wembley. $1.66 I think is a good bet. I'm also going to throw in Arsenal to win the Europa League at $5.
Ooh.
Obviously, they're on top of the table in the EPL. They've lost 4 games all season, which one was in one in each league, basically. They lost in the FA Cup, which they're out to Man
That's amazing.
City.
They
Lost in the
in
Carabao Cup. They played like all their young kids, so who cares? They lost 1 game in the Europa League, and obviously they lost the 1 game to United earlier in the season.
That's
in the
unbelievable,
EPL.
though.
So losing 4 games all year means they can focus on the Premier League and the Europa League.
Yep.
They don't need to worry about the cups and the extra ties and this and that. They're straight through to the round of 16 by finishing on top of their group in the Europa League. So they don't have to worry about the third place teams from the Champions League that come down to play the second place teams from the Europa League in the group stages. It's really weird how it works, but it makes the competition better. But Arsenal get to chill. It's 2 less games that they have to play.
They just have to concentrate on
and that's
Premier
not till like the 8th or 9th of March is the next round of Europa League games.
Perfect for them, yeah.
We saw that Arsenal in the busy period between Christmas and Australia Day. They didn't lose a game.
No.
So they can deal with busy times of football.
They've got a good squad to rotate as well, yeah.
Are they going to make a couple more signings in the next few days as well? They've obviously made more signings, obviously with Trossard coming on board as well. So if they can make another signing or two, which there's talk about.
Well, yeah, there was a deadline ends tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow at 10 a.m. So we'll know by our recording tomorrow if Arsenal are going to be stronger or not. They're $5 to win that. I don't mind it.
I like it, yeah.
I think it's a good bet, especially when you consider that Man United and Barcelona are the next favourites. But they've got to play in that play-in. So they could easily get beaten as well. So it's just like...
Yeah, well, they're more Champions League quality than Europa League quality at the moment anyway.
And that's it.
So you might as well tip them in the lower league.
Barcelona will win this. But I'm like, man, Arsenal are playing pretty damn good.
I like it, yeah.
So yeah, $5 for that. Get around it.
Very nice.
That's, my two best bets for them.
Perfect.
Looking ahead in the future because, I'll be honest, there's not much going on at the moment.
We'll get it. Yeah, I think as the next few days, there'll be a few more different.
We'll have a full-on EPL set up later in the week. You and James will be doing some NBA stuff, I'm sure,
as well,
at some stage. We've got
cool.
Big Bash and everything else coming up. So there's a lot to have a look at. Head to the website, codebet.com.au. There is a lot of stuff going up there. We are starting to get rolling on AFL's coming up, NRL's coming up, cricket,
F1, everything, yeah.
So yeah, get around it. Stats Guy's going to be busy.
Absolutely.
I'm finally back in the office, so it's good to see. But I think that's about it for today, Stats Guy.
I think that's it, yeah. Thank you.
Get around the show.
Yep.
Steph,
socials.
Put it in your steak night group.
She listen?
Please get people to listen because there's 18 people coming to dinner tonight.
I heard Code Steak Daily's back tomorrow
Code Steak Daily will be back. I'll tell you what, if this place does butcher's cut and serves me up rump,
I don't want to be here.
There'll be some issues. I might have to not be on the show tomorrow. But please like, subscribe, star, rate, review, send to your friends, your Tinder matches, your Instagram things. Anything to make us more relevant. I'm trying to make Stats Guy famous.
Yeah, and you're trying to be best friends with Brisbane Lions Twitter guy. But I like it. I like it. Yeah.
I can't help it that large corporations like me and they don't give you nothing. That's fine.
That's all right.
Send in any questions via all of our social channels: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I think that's it, isn't it, Leo?
Yeah, I think
nailed it. Good. He's giving me a nod. Send them into him. Leo will get them across to us. Thanks, Stats Guy, for being here.
Thank you.
Gerald, you've done a good job. Leo, thank you for getting my blooper earlier. And thanks to me for, rambling on like an idiot.
Yeah, hopefully we have some bloopers in.
We've got plenty for today. But what do we say here, Stats Guy?
Gamble responsibly.
It's CodeBet Daily. Out.